Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Tech Your Business podcasts, where we break down technology, inform you about the latest in technology to help your business learn more, earn more, and do more. Today would be another guest episode. Today we'll be talking insurer tech, how today's entrepreneur built his business in the insurance industry, how he's using tech to build his business, and probably if he has tips for us, he's going to share with us. Today's guest is also Peter. So today's guest is Pete Beckman. So welcome to the show, Pete.
I'm so excited to be. It's going to be a Pete repeat kind of episode, right?
Yeah, it is. So can you just tell us a bit about yourself? Tell us about your business, what you do, who you serve.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida, just on the East Coast here of the United States. And my background, I'm born and raised in the Midwest, blue collar family. My mom and dad were in trade. Went to college there in Cincinnati greater area, moved to Florida, just aspiring to something a little bit bigger in 2004. And then, was in sales in different types of organizations, and then found myself in the insurance industry and really the segment of life insurance, and really found that I love that business. I love our ability to help families. I love the ability to go out and serve other people. And as a broker, I love the options that I have with multiple carriers and providers. So I got into the life insurance industry in, I think it was about 2008. And I've been in that ever since, and started growing and building as a sales producer, just learned the in and outs of sales on insurance, and then founded our company, Unitrust Financial Group, in 2022. We launched out from another company and set waves into the industry. And it's been a fun ride ever since. And now I'm passing that knowledge along to independent agents all over the country here to do what I was able to do from 2008 and on.
Interesting. So, Unitrust, what does Unitrust do actually? Because, yeah.
So Unitrust, we are essentially we're the broker dealer between the consumer and various insurance companies. So we work with
Mm,
25 insurance companies. So what we do is we're the conduit for independent agents and brokers. Essentially, like if you have a real estate agent and they go and they work for a broker, that's the same kind of deal. So we provide in our company a couple platforms to make easy for the independent agent. We provide their carrier contracts so they can get licensed and registered with the insurance companies. We provide a proprietary lead and marketing program for them to tap into to find consumers who are interested in our products. Number three, especially for this with Tech Your Business, we provide a whole tech suite of different tech platforms in order to scale. In our business, in insurance especially, it's not been an industry that's been known to be super technological, right? Been pretty behind on the times. And so, one of the things we sought out to do was to make the life easier for the agent and the consumer to be able to purchase and to be able to manage and operate an insurance agency. And so for us, it gives that agent the ability to scale all these 25 different carriers, everything into one, from lead migration to recruiting and acquisition of agents in their organization, to monitoring and managing debt and finances, to cool techie thing KPIs in their business and metrics. So we provide a whole scale of tech suite for those independent agents to be able to tap into. And then, we have a system in training. So we do all the training and development of these agents and agency managers as well, to train and kind of conduit them up to the insurance company.
okay. So this tech suite, is this something that was built by your company or something that you deploy?
Yeah, so the tech. So I can tell you kind of the root of it was, as an independent agent, the finding of this was it was really difficult to manage the business. Having a lot of options is a great thing. Well, having a lot of options can also be a complicated thing. You've got to have a million different logins, remember the usernames, passwords, exactly how to get into which website, where to find each report or product you're looking for. And there's a lot of training just in that. So for me, the application usage came from being an agent and having the experience of how difficult these things were. So we made a decision, over the years I've learned from various people, um, and ideas how to scale. And I was always told that, in our business and developing insurance brokers, it's like an assembly line, right? Our job is to piece things together, keep the assembly line moving, keep people profitable, keep people moving. So we knew at the beginning site of starting our company, the very foundation for us is we wanted to be able to manage a few things first. Number one, we wanted our fundamentals. We call these the basic cores of everything we do. We knew that our agents needed a place, number one, to manage their business. So they could see all of their clients in one spot. They could see the different applications they have, the statuses of those policies. They could see the financials involved in those policies. And then number two, we needed them to be able to see their organization, right? We needed to be able to see the agents and users within our platform, where they were in the process, where their agents and clients were in the process. We needed to be able to do those two things. And from there, in August of 2022, we founded a gentleman by the name of Tiberio. He came in. It was kind of interesting. I found the guy on Upwork, and I was looking, and I gave him this big lofty goal. I said, we need to build a suite where we can manage and operate the business. And by the way, I need you to do this in like 3 weeks. And I'm not a tech guy. So he starts laughing at me and he's like, are you crazy? There's no way we're going to be able to do this. And so we actually were able to work together, and it took him about 8 weeks to get it deployed. But the very fundamentals of what we did within 8 weeks, we were able to do that. Fast forward, we added our what we call URS, which is a proprietary recruiting job board for the insurance industry. We were able to deploy that. We were able to start building in all of our business metrics and things. And then even now, as of late, redoing carrier contracting to ease the process for agents getting to carriers. We started building out those platforms, lead integration and lead management from consumers and marketing to now even, which is so much fun, is that we're starting to build e-application and digital platforms with a parent company and another partner company we work with called Techficient, that we're now building e-applications in the digital space for instant approval life insurance applications for the insurance companies. So it's just been a roller coaster of fun here the last 24 months as we've continued to build. And what's crazy, Peter, is I thought, oh, we'll be done in this project in 2 years. Now I'm like, Tiberio, every time you get to something, right, you find some new idea, and it's a brand,
Yeah.
something new, and just keeps deploying more and more and more things.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with technology. It never ends. You just keep going on and on. And that story you gave, it's a similar story, because most times when I have entrepreneurs come here to share the story, they would usually have this great idea and get someone who can build it, like you mentioned, Siberio. And a lot of other people feel, okay, I'm not a tech person. I just have this idea, but I need to learn how to code or whatever, whatever, and they get stuck and don't launch. So that's why I actually like sharing stories like yours on the podcast, so people know that your idea is good enough. Just look for who can build it. So you mentioned Upwork. Upwork is a good place to find people to build whatever you have in your head. But most times it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't take the time and the budget too.
I had no clue where to even start. And now fast forward to today, we have a tech team of five, and we've built a whole suite of products from the basic, what we call our My Unitrust platform, which is all the business KPIs and metrics and everything into one. Contracting management is two. Three is our Copilot digital application platform, and then our URS recruiting, which is incredible. And then the fun thing is starting to build funnel systems, right? For sales, recruiting, and then our Unitrust calendar, which is a whole native calendar system that we've built to funnel applicants from job boards, from clients and consumers to acquire them into policies. Now we've set up everything flowing right through there to make life even easier and just systematic. My goal, Peter, was to take everything that you find that's good in 50, 60 different applications, and how can we merge all of those into one simple operational tool. And since it's what I would say has been one of the biggest catapults to our growth and our development in our company. It's just definitely. But I can say to some folks out there, some tips and tricks we did is you don't have to be the smartest guy to start. You need to find good people, right? Maybe start them as subcontractors in your company, and then when you find somebody good, you maybe bring them in house. The
Yeah.
second piece of advice I would give is there are application software programs out there that you can maybe get the shell of if you're looking to build native software. You can find the shells or no code type software programs that maybe some basic hard codings out there, like a bubble or something like that along the line, so that when you're coming in and you're programming, find an expert in those areas so that a lot of the main just frame of what you're trying to build, it's all the same. Like we're all looking to kind of get the same type of deal, whether you're selling books or you're selling insurance or you're managing real estate or you're managing a data source or whatever you're doing. A lot of those basic same frames are already built with some of these type of no code programs. So if you can find one that's very good and get a dedicated space just for your tool, just for your asset, then everything you build upon that is going to catapult. So it's to us, it's what we were able to take, what we think would have taken us 100% native and taken 10 years to do. We've been able to scale to 2 years just because we're using some plug and play tools, but building them through our own native approach and our own native way.
Amazing. So now looking at all this tech you've invested in, you've talked about different types of things that were built at the start up to the point now where you have an internal tech team. What impact would you say it has it had on your business, on the growth, on the efficiency, on productivity and everything?
I mean, words can't even say. I can give you, I told you I've been in the business in the insurance space and the broker space for a while. In all the years of me getting into this industry until 2022, I worked with another company, and the best I could ever get in terms of production was getting my team to maybe $300,000 to $400,000 per month in annual premium. And listen, there's a lot of companies out there in our space. If you can get to $1 million a year, we were on a $3.5 million run rate. If you can get there, you're in the top end. But now, what we were able to do in a year, we exceed that in a month now. 24 months later from the deployment of these applications and these tools, even while they've been building, we've been able to 10x our growth super rapid, and it's much more efficient. I'll give you one area, Peter, which is fun, is in our space, you have to be good at underwriting. Well, I used to have my agents call me and say, "Hey, I've got this client, this health, the condition, this, where do I go?" And I used to think that I knew everything about underwriting. And I quickly learned that when we put some digital tools in place with our digital mentor program and our co-pilot and these other tools that we have that we built, those algorithms, those AI systems, those if when scenarios, which are thousands of them that we've built into the algorithm of these co-pilot accounts, we're now able to see that the underwriting, the amount of business that places at a carrier versus what we submit is far exceeding what even your most knowledgeable human has that's in our space. So
Whoa.
not only in terms of ease for the agent, ease for the client, ease of time for the consumer, and now just a 10x growth on our revenue and our production.
Yeah, so I think you just mentioned mentorship. So why is this mentorship you talk about so crucial for your business model?
Well, it's a great question because a lot of people who come into our space typically don't have experience in selling life insurance. Like maybe, a lot of people sometimes end up in different sales jobs or sales careers or business ownership paths, maybe due to an unfortunate circumstance. Maybe they were laid off, or maybe the economy, they got, pushed out maybe due to layoffs or things like that. So a lot of people find our space not necessarily looking for it, but looking for an opportunity. So when you bring people in, where we bring in independent contractors, they're 1099. A lot of these folks, they've been used to having a boss. They've been used to having a vehicle, that they can start, stop, air conditioning buttons here, the turn signals here. They know what to do. They know where the lines are. They know where to stay. And when they move into an independent space, especially, them, I believe that technology serves so much greater of a purpose there because technology can be used to provide that air conditioning button, that turn signal, that steering wheel, those lines. It can give that independent agent direction that they need. And so not only physical mentorship that we have, talking to people, but COVID changed so many things for our space. No longer do I hire people to come and work out of my office. We hire them all over the country. And so this new human nature, human effect on this is everybody wants to work from home. And we knew that we didn't want technology to replace leadership because it never will. But we wanted to be able to provide digital mentorship that when that person's in a situation that maybe they're in front of a consumer and they need help and they have a question, that technology is there to guide them through their process so that they don't have to stop and feel embarrassed and call someone or answer the phone or, hey, I need to check with somebody who knows what I don't know and ultimately lose the sale.
That's a great use of technology, actually. So, during the mentorship process or the training process, what's one thing that you teach new agents at Unit Trust that you think would apply to any other business?
Well, I think what I teach most people is that the margin of error in our space between the people who are really successful and the ones who aren't is so granular small, right? And so, what I really encourage people to do is find a proven process. And instead of trying to train or redo or reinvent a new process, come in with a mind of duplication. Come in with a mind that you can follow a certain path, and then the margin of error, if you follow people before you who do, done had the success you want, the margin of error is so easy. Now, what I've always seen is, it kind of goes back, Peter, to the four aspects. You're unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you don't know. Number one. Well, when you join our company, and you come in as an independent contractor, you quickly get alarmed. Okay, I know what I don't know, right? I'm aware now that I don't know these things or how to, obtain a client or how to book an appointment or how to run a sale or how to build my organization structure or how to run technology. I don't know that yet. But then we train them through that process, and then everybody gets to a point we call, consciously competent. They know what they know. They're very good. I think that's a very dangerous place for most people to be. And the reason is because most of us are easy to get distracted. We want to try something new. We want to learn a new trick or a new phrase or try a different way. Well, with technology, of course, being there to guide us and keep us on alert, it's almost like driving your car and you got the lane key, but keeps you in the lane. Well,
Yeah.
you've also got the side detection for the vehicles beside you. Hey, don't switch lanes because there's a car next to you. When you can build technology that is aware of just the human nature when it comes to sales, which is this big thing. People who are consciously incompetent or consciously competent are very, very close to being unconsciously competent, which means they start running on autopilot. And when you run on autopilot and you talk about a degree of error or margin of error that is so already granular, if they get a 1 degree off track or 2 degrees or 3 degrees or 4 degrees, it doesn't seem so much. But over a long period, sometimes we are miles away from where we need to be. So when you build the right technology in your operation, especially when it comes to guiding and developing salespeople, you can take the unconscious out of their worry and now build systems and tools that assist them during the sale to keep that consciousness in front of them, scripts, processes, different, trade secrets, things you do that move the needle. You can keep those things in front of your organization so the consciousness just stays there. Because I've watched people come in, Peter, that do this in sales, and when they become unconsciously competent, they start doing this. And you get on the phone, oh, I'm already doing that. I'm doing it. Well, send me a recording. You do what you're doing. And you've been so far off, you don't even know it. Now, with the tools we've built, it's eased the life of the leadership because now, and it's given the agent and the consumer a much better approach because they feel confident to be able to present And now they can follow proven systems right in front of them that'll guide them and keep those lane departure and those, those steerings right in the same lane, and those lane assists keep them right in line.
Interesting. So when I was in the research, I realized that unit trust really takes the core values very seriously. So can you walk us through how you came up with these core values for unit trust? Were they a process, or was it something that just came in the shower or something?
It kind of goes back to we were wondering when we founded our company, who are we? What do we want to be known for? What kind of people do we want to attract to our organization? Right? Who's going to be the type of person that we want to put in front of one of our consumers? And when we went through that thought process, what we were thinking is a couple things kept coming to mind. Number one, we're always looking for people that we can trust. And it's one thing to trust, but it's another thing to be able to present trust. You can take the most honest person, and if you put them in front of a consumer and they don't know how to answer questions, they don't know how to be direct, they don't know how to dodge a question, right? They don't know how to avoid doing that. You can take the most honest person who overthinks, and they can maybe look like the most dishonest person. So honesty and transparency and trust kept coming back to mind, that we wanted to convey and be a part of a culture where we trust each other. The consumer grabs instant trust of us, that we're authentic and we're genuine. Our second major core value that we wanted was diversity. We believe at Unitrust that we are building a great company because we find great diverse people. What I love is getting opinions from people who don't necessarily think the same way that I do, or come from the same background, believe maybe the same type of political views I believe in, or religious views, or have the same type of background. Those are what make us at our core who we are. And we believe that our growth and some of our biggest innovations have come from embracing ideas from people that have a completely different perspective than we do. And I think it's those different perspectives that give us the approach that we don't have different perspectives. We embrace all perspectives. And another one is grit. I think in business, when you're building something, and I certainly can tell you, is the build out of all of our InsurTech operation here is, it's taken a lot of grit. Things are great, and then sometimes you're in this black hole wondering if things are going to improve, or if you're going to figure out the solution, or if your business is going to hit that next plateau, and you question what you're doing and you question where you're at and your purpose. I think grit is the fuel. I think it's the energy that's behind you, that's the motivation that you internally have to have in order to succeed as a thriving business owner. And then another one that we just really feel is humility, just being grateful, having gratitude, living in a mindset that you can't be mad and grateful at the same time. But if you can focus on all the things that are going well and be patient with yourself as a business owner, because sometimes the biggest accomplishments you have are 20 yards down the field. And if you just decide to surrender there and just decide to fumble the ball or throw it down, you might be 2 yards from your greatest achievement. And sometimes the only thing as an entrepreneur, when you're thinking humility and gratitude of where you're at, sometimes you're doing all of the things right. The only thing that's separating you is just time. You just need to have a little bit more time and you'll crack it. And I think if you operate, and I know Unitrust, as we bring in those type of people that believe and have the core values that align with ours, that harmonious culture that we've built is really one of the thriving things that pull all this together.
That's a lot of wisdom actually packed in one statement. Yeah, so and I actually like the thought process. So while I was doing reading your profile, I read the part where it talks about having a PhD in business. I'll let you say the full meaning of that PhD. So can you share a story and also let us know what you mean by this?
By the PhD is poor, hungry, and driven.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I got my knowledge from the school of hard knocks, right? Just getting kicked down and learning how. I did not get a degree in business. And for me, it was a matter of just finding the right people and putting those right people in the right processes, and learning that I did not have to be the smartest guy in the room. I actually like not being the smartest guy, but I like hiring a lot of smart people that will do all of it for us, right? And so I look up to our chief technology officer and some of our vice presidents at our company, and they're strategically placed where they are because poor, hungry, and driven isn't going to be able to figure out some of these harder technological things. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it, but I can come up with the ideas and I can give the general blueprint of what we're looking for. But for me, that's the grit, right? If you ask me, Peter, hey, would you rather have somebody that's come out with a PhD from college or got a master in business with zero experience, or would you rather had somebody that dropped out of college who got their teeth kicked in and now are thriving on some sort of application that they're doing? I'm taking the latter all day over the first.
Great. So, can you tell us one tech tool that you use, probably personally or in your business, apart from the one you built, that you can't do without?
Talk about a tool that we've built.
Yeah, no, no, like a tech tool that you use that you can't do without.
For
What is
me,
the tool?
I can't do without our my unit trust platform. It
Hmm.
is something that I'm refreshing 400 times a day, a million times, because it's my business, right? I can now see an aspect of all of my business in one ratio and one form. So we've taken all business analytics and data and put it into one thing. And then the other one that I think more than anything I can't live without is my cell phone. Without this device, I mean, I've turned this device, the ringer, off for the duration that we've done this meeting today. And I can tell you that's like, it's so weird, that feeling, right? I remember years ago, you'd never let your cell phone be like that. Now it's like minutes away from it. And I'm like, where's my child? Where's my phone? What did I miss? What happened in this world around me that in this last 25, 30 minutes, I'm not even aware of, right? So I think the phone has been my biggest, I would say, besides just checking my numbers every day, where my business is, and being just obsessed with that, having that cell phone attached to me.
Okay. So, looking back 2 years ago, 2022, when you started Unit Trust, what's one piece of advice that you give to your younger self if you could go back and give younger Pete some advice?
Be patient with yourself, right? Be patient, right? That time that we talked about, right? One thing that I could do is, when you start something and you've got experts around you who are giving you the blueprint, giving you the guide of what it is, don't try to speed up what can't be sped up. So, a lot of us, if my tech developer told me, hey, this is going to take, this is a 90-day project. This is a 3 month here with these 5 agents or these five, programmers. It's going to do this. For me, I was like, hey, I don't care. We need it in three. We need it not in 3 months. I need it in two. I think for me is just have a little patience, right, with yourself. It is a marathon. Looking back, I would just tell myself, be a little bit more patient. However, to the same degree, having a little bit of the impatience is what's taken us where we are. But we could have had a less few errors along the way if I would have just been a little bit more patient.
True. Okay, so as we come to the end, what's your vision for the future of Unit Trust, and how do you see technology playing a role in that, in the future vision for Unit Trust?
Well, I mean, for Unitrust, we see ourselves becoming a household name. Our goal is to build $1 billion company in the next 15 years, and I think we can get there. And technology, to me, isn't a part of what we do. It is the major ecosystem that supports everything we do. And the right type of technology is not going to, like I said earlier, replace our agents. For a long time, insurance companies thought they could, just go direct to consumer, try to remove agents. Certain things that are sensitive, like life insurance or retirement planning or setting up the future for your children's college and education and things like that, those are still very human emotional decisions that people do. And so I've learned that technology will never in our space replace, nor will we try to replace the human element. What we're going to do is we're going to work within the human element to kind of, shave off those rough edges, as you will, to make it easier for the consumer, make it easier for the agent to build their business, so that in our space, you know believe it or not, there's not a lot of people who've even built a tenth of what we've built at this point. And so our agents become so incredibly connected to this that without, or them, that's our competitive advantage. It's like, why would I ever want to go anywhere? Why would I ever want to go work in any type of insurance group when I have this amazing technology that's my mentor and my support system and my ecosystem, and doesn't replace me and doesn't replace my leadership, but enhances it, keeps me in the lanes, keeps me in those guardrails, and just totally eases my life. And so, if we can continue building upon our technology to do those things, there's nothing that we're not willing to do as long as it can ease the life of the consumer and 1,000% ease that life of that independent contracting agent that works with us.
Amazing. So, for anyone listening to the podcast today who wants to reach out to you, maybe they want to continue this conversation because we can go all day, but we can't. Or maybe consumers who are looking for life insurance, or agents who might want to work with Unitrust, what's the best way to reach out?
Yeah, you can certainly go visit our website, which is unitrustlife.com. We have a contact form there, our phone number. We give it three easy ways. You can either chat in, you can do a form, you can text in, or you can call. And certainly you can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Facebook at Pete Beckman. And I'm free anytime to chat with you guys.
Okay, so unitrustlife.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pete Beckman, in case anyone wants to reach out. So this will be in the show notes and on the screen once this goes live. So thank you so much, Pete, for coming on the Tech Your Business podcast today.
Peter, thank you so much for having me. We're really excited. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So, for the listeners, for the watchers, did you get any value from this episode? Did you learn anything new about insurance? Did you learn anything new about building tech, about using tech in your business? Or generally, you heard the thing he talked about, the core values and everything. Did you learn anything that would improve your business? If you did, please share this with anyone else you think it would help. And if you want to be the first person to know when we release new episodes, when we share helpful information like this for your business, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe wherever you can see us or hear us on. We are over 100 episodes, so and we bring out an episode a week, so you can listen to as many as you want each day till we come back next week with a brand new episode. Don't forget to keep learning and keep taking your business. Bye for now.